Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Monday the 23rd of May 2022. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the amazing Celestial Tarot for today's reading, and this is one of my favorite decks because it combines astrology with the tarot. I'll just show you. So we've got the tarot cards here, but then we have all these astrological symbols, and it kind of feels tailor-made for me, this deck, because it combines all the divination systems that I like to use. So the numbers, astrology, and the tarot. Let's see what the cards have to say about Monday and what energy you'll be working with. So let's have a look at what that is. Hope you've had a lovely weekend. Let's see what this first day here has to offer. First card is Crucis, the Ace of Swords. All right, that's interesting. Then we have Taurus, the Hierophant. And finally, Alrisha, the Seven of Cups. Oh. Okay, this is a very unique message. What it's saying is that you're able to pinpoint good ideas internally. So the Ace of Swords is a blessing from the universe when it comes to your ideas. It's that eureka moment. Aha, I get it. A light bulb has gone off. But usually the sword points upwards, and it's about, I've got an idea that I can apply in a practical sense. And here I feel it's about understanding yourself better. The Hierophant then is the outside world. It's the Pope, or it's the High Priestess, this Hierophant, which says, this is our system of belief, this is what works, this is what doesn't work. If you want to be part of the club and if you want to get the blessing from me, then you need to believe everything that we believe. So it puts you at odds with certain institutions or groups of people because you're now seeing yourself differently and you feel like you've got the understanding rather than that understanding existing and resting in other people or groups, communities, institutions. And the Seven of Cups is interesting because this understanding of self reveals what you want in future. And it allows you to understand what's important and what spirituality feels like to you and what your intuition is. And basically the whole thing is moving away from a belief that's been dictated to you and arriving at a personal experience of you and your higher self. So this is an amazing day for anyone who's trying to understand themselves better. But it's also an amazing day for people who are kind of looking at their own faith, or people who are searching for some sort of belief system or some sort of connection with something bigger that does feel personal and alive, rather than something that's been kind of taught to them as a kind of rule book. You know, it's the difference between I don't know, growing up in a religion and being told that God is a man on another planet and you have to do what he says, versus meditating or walking out in nature and having this feeling that something benign exists outside of you and it's talking to you and it supports you and it loves you. It's interesting. I remember this moment really clearly. I was early into my recovery, I think a year or two, and I'd gone back to university to study something, and I was walking into the campus one morning. I was walking to class, and I was walking along, and I wasn't thinking anything in particular, but it suddenly felt like the clouds had parted, and I was bathed in sunlight. And I even looked up. I remember looking up to the sky and thinking, hey, where's all this sun come from? But there wasn't any sun. It was cloudy in a practical, physical sense. And what had happened was that suddenly the universe or my higher self or whatever, it revealed itself to me in this sense that, hey, I'm watching over you. I'm bathing you in sunlight. I want you to do well. It was all these positive messages that I got. And I was so shocked and surprised. And it was really evidence and an affirmation that, hey, there is something out here because I personally felt it. It wasn't told to me by my vicar or my priest who says this is the way it is. You know, so if you're an agnostic or if you're an atheist, but you're questioning that, or you want to understand more about the spiritual realm or understand the world or what it's all about, this is the day to really reflect on that. So we've got the Ace of Swords here, and it's interesting that it's crucis because it's this cross. And when we have a cross in the tarot, it represents the intersection between the spiritual and the physical. So the vertical line here is spirit and the universe talking to you and coming down. And the horizontal line is you here on planet Earth. And there's a dialogue. They start talking to each other and they meet in the middle where we've got this little black dot, which is a gem. So that's the treasure here of this, that the universe is actually speaking to you. And it's kind of like an umbilical cord to the higher realms. You're connected so effectively that it feels like you're kind of like in the same body. We've got Libra, which is an air sign that has to do with creativity and ideas and beauty, but it's also a bridge with a bump in it. So usually this lack of connection with the higher realms, you get over the bump and you get to go to the other side and you get to have a conversation. And Venus is the planet of love. So not only do you understand yourself better and feel like there's something benign that watches over you, you feel the love of it. And that's what I was so surprised by in that moment when I thought I was I suddenly had walked into this ray of light, is that the love is surprising. It's like, why would the universe love me? You know? And then it's like, okay, well, but it does. Who am I to question that? Let me just enjoy the love. So that's really available and that's lovely. I mean, to me, that solved so many problems. You know, just realizing the fact that something out there actually cares for me, it made some of my issues just go poof because they didn't matter so much. Because now I realized that something bigger was on my team, on my side, and that I could relax a little bit, if that makes sense. Next, we've got Taurus, the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is the fifth card in the Major Arcana, and it's the first time you come into contact with something bigger, society or religion or, I don't know, a school motto, something like that. And it's this sense that if I want to understand more, then I have to align myself with other people. Sometimes that works, right? If I have no education, nothing, and then I go to some sort of spiritual teacher and they tell me that there is something bigger and that there is a God and whatever, then that may be the first time I've heard of that concept and it gives me food for thought. So, of course, the Hierophant can be useful. But on this day, I feel it's much more about understanding yourself and experiencing that connection and then having freedom from the Hierophant. That's what I feel. So that you're able to then feel the love for yourself. It's almost something that you feel in your body, and it's something that comes down to you and kind of reaches out to you, so that you no longer have this need of other people to belong, and therefore you also don't need to censor yourself anymore. So not only does this make you feel better, it also gives you confidence and it gives you this sense of freedom that you're okay just the way you are and that you don't need to conform to be part of any group whatsoever. You can be part of groups by being yourself, but also you can get what you thought you'd get from this group of people by simply connecting on your own. So you become the Pope in your own right, so to speak. Rather than going to some big wise man and saying, hey, please bless me because you're so wonderful and powerful and you have access to God. It's like, I access the higher realms myself, so I don't really need your blessing. Thank you very much. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there's no point to spiritual teachings or anything. But I think it is a problem when it disempowers you and it makes you throw your own personality out the window just so you can belong to some sort of club. That's when it does become a problem. Finally, we've got the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups is about contemplating your options each cup is something that you love, right? So usually the Seven of Cups has something in each one. So beauty or security or power or wealth or abundance or whatever. With this, the understanding of yourself, and then Neptune, the water planet of dreams and intuition, and Pisces, the sign that it rules, the sign that has to do with the higher realms and facing off. I always look at Pisces as two fish looking at each other. And it's like you're the fish on earth looking at the fish in the universe, and that's the creator. And you're looking at each other, having a dialogue. So again, through this dialogue with the higher realms, you start to understand what exists in your life that you have love for, how you can work with this and expand it and make it even more satisfying and fulfilling. And again, we've got the umbilical cord to the higher realms. So you're like a universal baby. No, you're the child of the universe. You are a child of the universe. That sounds really grand, but that's what the day is. That the universe takes a special interest in you. It nurtures you like it would a baby. And it gives you all these ideas and understanding about yourself so that you have more freedom in your life and you can act without being compromised or having to compromise yourself. I love it. So more of you, which is what we need. We don't need more of, some church or some, because we already have that. How many people share the same beliefs on this planet? Millions, billions. But only you know what you believe, and the rest of us don't know about that yet. And we'd be really interested to hear what that is, because the current story that we're getting doesn't satisfy all of us. So please inform us. Number-wise, we've got the ace, which is 1, and 5 is 6. 6 and 7 is 13, 1 and 3 is 4, and 4 is structure and security in your own beliefs and understanding of the universe and the world and how it works, rather than being brainwashed into believing something that may or not be true. So I hope you have a great day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to audio reading with me. I use the tarot, astrology, and numerology in my personal reading. So if you have any questions about your life purpose or your spiritual development, relationships, moving, finance, anything at all, please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share it online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. All the best. Take care.